Here with Teddy Atlas. Teddy, we won't know what a log in the ocean is, and that's fine. But one thing we are going to know and talk about is the legacy of your fighter, Tim Bradley. He's been in wars. He's fought anybody that's come to the table, and yet I think he still a little bit feels like, and a lot of people feel like he doesn't quite get the respect that he deserves in this game. Well, it's not a game, but in this sport. So what would a win against Manny Pacquiao in this third fight mean for that legacy and for that respect that he so deserves?
In the public domain, it would mean a lot. In the private domain, in my domain, in Timothy's household, and in the people that know Timothy, he doesn't need any more respect. They know what he is. You know, he's done it for 10 years. He's won, and he's won, and he's won. And he's gone to the edge of the cliff, and he's never fallen over that edge of the cliff. As close as he's gotten to it, he's made sure that he's found a way to win when it didn't look likely, when he was so hurt, and he found a way because he had special qualities. So the people that have seen that, the people that have been around him, that know him, they appreciate that. That legacy is intact. That history is intact. That Timothy Bradley will always live, always. But for the rest of the world at large, for the huge fan base of boxing and the broader spectrum of that fan base, sometimes he probably hasn't been appreciated as much as somebody who's done the things that I just described has done. And, you know, this is for him. This is for his legacy. This is for his history. This is for his family's history. This is for the chance and the opportunity some years from now where his children are in school and what's going to be said to them about their father. When their children get older and somebody's, talking about boxing and they're talking about sports and they see someone on TV and they say, hey, your father was Timothy Bradley. This is about what they're going to say. This is about the words that are going to come out of those mouths that are going to, in some way, impact his children. And you know what? Our children mean everything to us. So when you start thinking of those terms, of how it's going to impact your children, not just you, because we handle things that are unfair. We handle things that are said that are wrong. A few people around here said a few things I don't like too much, but it's okay. But don't say it about our family. And this is about ensuring that down the road, that his children in school, kids have a habit of talking, they will say and hear the right words spoken about their father, about the kind of man he was, the kind of fighter he was, the way that he represented himself in that ring, and what his career was.
And I've followed Tim's career for many, many years now, and he put that legacy and he put that responsibility in your hands, and he trusts you so much. I've never seen him more confident coming into a fight. Talk about how you've seen that growth and development in him, because that confidence doesn't just come from his performance against Brandon Rios. It's from the trust in the relationship that he's built with you in even such a short amount of time.
Listen, I came back to this end of the business. I've been broadcast. I had a pretty good gig with ESPN. I still do, thanks to you people and thanks to ESPN that you tolerate me for 20 years. I didn't have to come back to this end of it. I wasn't coming back to this end of it. It's a difficult end of the pool. It gets tough. You hear things, you feel things. You can be betrayed, you can be disappointed. But most of all, it's a great responsibility that you have to be responsible for somebody that gets in a place that could come out of that place, the ring, with less of themselves than they went in. That's a scary burden, a scary responsibility. And it makes you think once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times before you say yes to coming back, to be able to carry that responsibility, to handle that, to want to handle that responsibility again. And the only thing that brought me back was not the fighter, Tim Bradley. It was the person that I didn't say yes. I went out there and I peeked at him. And I saw him as a father, I saw him as a husband, I saw him as a person. And that person was worth all the things I just said, worth handling that burden again, worth maybe giving a little bit of help, maybe a little bit of help. Because at the end of the day, if you do believe you're a teacher, and some people believe that I'm a teacher, especially my daughter, you know what is the strongest component of a teacher, I feel, is the part of care that you want to improve somebody, that you want to make something better. I mean, to me, that's kind of what goes along with teaching, is that you get a chance, a privilege, to maybe add, to contribute. And how many chances do we get in life to contribute to somebody, to contribute to the betterment of somebody's family, of their life, of your life too, your family's life, to contribute, to give something, to make something just a little better? That's a privilege. That's an opportunity. But again, it's an opportunity that I could only say yes to if I was going to be around somebody that was going to make me feel like it was really worthwhile. Timothy Bradley was that person.
I think you've made him more than just a little bit better, and I'm sure he would agree to that too, but he's going to need to be even better than that against Manny Pacquiao. But the question is, yeah, maybe Tim may be better, but is Manny really better at this stage? What are your thoughts on that? Because I'm sure you're preparing for the very best Manny Pacquiao that there is.
You know, that's a good question. Manny, I haven't seen any physical decline or dissipation in Manny Pacquiao. I didn't see it in the Mayweather fight. I saw a real good defensive fighter that maybe made it difficult for Manny to do some of the things that he normally, but I didn't see a physical impairment. I didn't see a physical, barrier that stopped him from doing those things. I didn't see a guy that got slower or less explosive, or was less determined. I saw the same Manny Pacquiao. We're going to prepare, for that. And maybe if there was something dissipating, something evaporating a little bit from Manny at this point in his career, would be something that could evaporate from all of us when we've had success for a long time, that we're satisfied, that we have other things we can do, that it's not the same urgency. Maybe that could be something that's declining. But I ain't counting on it. I wish I could make things easier.
Yeah.
I'm human. I like to make things easier if I could, but I'm not dependent on it because he has something, Pacquiao being he, that will keep that from happening. That his legacy we talked about earlier, that he's going out. And this might be the last chance that people can remember him. And I know he wants to go out that door. If he's really going out that door to the arena of politics, I know he wants to go out that door the right way. And if there was something missing in motivation in the areas I talked about, that will quickly bring it back. Quickly bring it back. That you want to leave and leave that stage the right way. So we got a handful. It's gonna be a tough fight. But you know what? When you're at the top, they should be tough.
Thank you, Teddy. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here with Freddie Roach. Freddie, although Manny's talking about this being his last fight, you and I have talked about it many times. When you think it's time for him to hang it up, you'll tell him so. But he still has that dog. He still has that fight in him. Don't you think? You don't think he should, even though it's for his political, he says he's still got that fight.
He does, but the thing is, being a fighter and a congressman is okay. I mean, being a fighter and a senator, I don't think there's that much room there. I think a senator's obligations are much deeper than a congressman, and I really don't think he would have time to do both. And that's why I'm beginning to feel that this might be his last fight. And even though I think he has more left in him and a couple big fights and so forth, he's still a great fighter. But the thing is, being the senator is not going to give him room to do both, I feel. So I think once he's senator, and then he'll have his eyes on president after that, and it'll be. I think this might be it.
Well, first things first, you got to start a training camp, and you got to prepare him for this fight before he fights his political battles. And in this fight with Tim Bradley, you've done this twice before, but Manny's talked about it, even Tim has talked about it, and you too, that it's a newer Tim Bradley this time around. It's a new trainer. He may come with a new game plan. So with that being said, how do you approach this training camp as opposed to the training camps in the past against him?
It's same as always. I mean, we give 100%. We're looking for the guy to be the best he can be, and then I'm going to watch a lot of his last fight and see what Teddy's up to and what changes he's trying to make with his fighter. If he's going to be more aggressive, or he's going to run a little bit more, or move a little bit more. And I have my ideas right now because I know Teddy's background, and I know what styles he likes to teach, and the Cusma styles. A little bit more aggressive than most, but again, Bradley doesn't have the build of a Mike Tyson, though, so I can't completely go there. But but we will study him a lot and and we will come up with a perfect game plan to win the fight.
Were you surprised to see Bradley knock out Brandon Rios, something that Manny didn't do, although the condition of Brandon coming in the fight was quite different?
Yeah, you got to look at what he had in front of him, and I don't think he had much in front of him that night. But he did well. He did what he was supposed to do, and that's his job. And I think he did his job, and Brandon Rios didn't do his that night. But you know, but Manny's a whole different type of fighter and so forth. And but it should add to the fight, though. I mean, because we don't really know what to expect. I mean, I can guess and I can look a little bit and say that he's working on this or that and so forth. But the first time together, it's always difficult to be in the first fight together. The second fight, things get better. The third fight, things get even better. So as things go on, it does get better, and I think they'll click together a lot better in this fight than they did their last fight. So I like the competition. I like going against a guy who's supposed to be as good or better than me. So I think that's great.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you, Freddie.
Thank you.
Thank you.